Yeah, welcome back. This event is about content, but this event is also about meeting people, getting to know new people. So therefore, this is also attractive, I think. That's why we have several people still there in the area where the coffee break is. But I also know that there are a lot of new people here in the room at this conference, and therefore allow me a few basics on Gaia-X. It was created beginning of 2021. The idea originally was for the first time announced based in back in 2019 by the French Minister of Economic Affairs, Bruno Le Maire, and his German colleague, Peter Altmaier. Then 11 French and 11 German organizations created the Gaia-X organization. We are now more than 275 members from all over the world. And during the short break, I met members here from Japan, from Korea, from Brazil, from Canada. So we are more and more global. And it is our vision to enable trusted, decentralized digital ecosystems. This is the vision which has been created when Gaia-X was founded. And since the last summit we had in Helsinki 1 year ago, we were able to get 33 new members to join us on this vision. To join us to create interoperable data spaces. And why are we doing this? We started as industry some 40 years ago to create data exchange, a bilateral data exchange between two different organizations. This technology was called and still is called, because it's still in use, EDI, Electronic Data Interchange. And then here in the center for the last 2 decades, we've been working on the creation of digital platforms, connecting few to few with still a lot of effort to connect participants to these data spaces. And we are now on the way, and we have provided the ingredients for this to build data spaces, connecting many to many, connecting millions to millions. In Europe, doing this based on our European legislation described by the Data Governance Act, Data Act, providing data for AI. So also the AI Act is an important legislation for us. But as we are targeting for global interoperability, this legislation is to be replaced also by legislations from outside of Europe. And we are enabling this interoperability on 4 different levels: technical, semantic, organizational, and legal interoperability. And when saying we, this means we are not doing this alone. We are doing this together with partners with whom we are working together in the creation of interoperable data spaces based on a federated cloud infrastructure. And to name a few, this is IDSA, where I'm also a founding member and a member of the board. It is the Big Data Value Association, it is FIVER. We are working together in a project funded by the European Commission called the Data Spaces Support Center project. We are working together with the project Thibaut Kleiner mentioned before, Simple, just to name a few. And we have published a white paper this week describing all these different initiatives and how they fit together, how we are working together here. Coming back to the 4 different levels, 2 of the main deliverables of the work of our members are on the left side, the compliance document, addressing the first 2 or the 2 upper levels of interoperability, and the technical specifications addressing the semantic and technical interoperability. All of this is implemented using the Gaia-X Clearinghouse, the Gaia-X Digital Clearinghouse, which is implementing and operationalizing these rules which are defined in the compliance document based on the specifications described in the document on the right side. And within this compliance document, we have agreed on 4 different levels of conformity, so 4 different security levels, finally, 4 data spaces. And you see on the left side the standard compliance, and then 3 additional levels, the Gaia-X label level 1, 2, and 3. And in the actual version of this compliance document, these highest requirements, the Gaia-X label level 3, can only be achieved by providers having their headquarters in Europe to make sure that the data are operated by Europeans, operated within Europe, stored within Europe, and are just under European legislation and not under extraterritorial legislation. And the second point here, the compliance document for regions outside of Europe, this is an important point, that this needs to be adopted to regions outside of Europe to enable international interoperability on data. And we have started this with countries like Japan and Korea. Coming back to Europe, what you see here is just paper, policies and rules our members have agreed upon, but it is reality in the meantime. And today we are able to announce, together with CISPE, a catalog where you can search for such offerings. You see it here, it is the CISPE catalog. Actually, there are 600 different services, services of cloud service providers, of system integrators in there. In total, at the starting point, we have 15 providers having their services in there. And it is a bit small to be seen here. On the left side, you have different filters. You can search for locations, for providers, for certificates, and you can search for the different 4 levels of Gaia-X conformity. And talking about the highest level, the Gaia-X label level 3, there are already 5 providers which are providing services based on this highest level of security, and you see them listed here: Cloud Temple, CWeb, Tees, OVH Cloud, and OpiQuad. That are the 5 providers providing Gaia-X services label level 3. Announcement is today. We are starting today, and the target is to further grow this catalog and to further grow the amount of providers providing these services. It is one catalog. There are also others in preparation, so there's no exclusivity, but CISPE has been quite fast here in collaborating and implementing this. CISPE is also one of the 2 new Gaia-X Digital Clearinghouse operators. We have, since the last summit, 2 new ones, CISPE and Pfalzcom. Pfalzcom is a German IT company belonging to a utilities company, and also they have started to provide Gaia-X Digital Clearinghouse services. And I would like to come back for a second to the paper I mentioned before, describing the synergies of Gaia-X with prominent data and cloud European initiatives and projects. And I reused this triangle Ernst introduced in the morning, that we have this triangle of infrastructure, so a federated cloud infrastructure, of foundation models, means vertical AI models in the different industries, and the data ecosystems. And these 3 elements belong together and form a clear dependent triangle to drive the digitization of different verticals, not only in Europe, but globally. Clearly, we have, and that's what we see in here in Europe, that the automotive industry, that the aerospace industry, that the energy domain are leading the adoption, but also in other domains like industry, like in mobility, like in healthcare, in tourism, in agriculture, in energy, there are really relevant data space projects in implementation and partly also in operation. Mentioning, for example, the mobility data space, which is in operation in Germany since some time. And to further develop the interoperability of these data spaces, standardization becomes more and more important. That's why we are, since not too long, now a liaison organization of CEN-CENELEC. CEN-CENELEC, besides ETSI, these are the three main standardization organizations in Europe, and we are participating here in the GCT, in the Joint Technical Committee 25 on data spaces. We are also working in EDWG, that's the Eclipse Data Space Working Group, and our community has decided to work together with Eclipse because there is a so-called fast-track mechanism between Eclipse and ISO to bring publicly available standards or de facto standards to a formal standardization process via ISO in a fast track. Yeah, and we are working on the global glossary grid to make sure that we are talking the same language and that we are using the same definitions here all together. And all of this is used when implementing projects. And since our last summit, we have 9 new endorsed projects. We have 3 upgraded projects. Out of the roughly plus minus 150, 170 data space development projects we have just in Europe. So out of this, let's say 150, we have about 30, which are here on this slide, which are endorsed, being either Lighthouse projects or Lighthouse data spaces. And the upper category, Lighthouse data spaces, are those data spaces which are already up and running and creating value for their users. And here, definitely one of the pioneers is Catena-X. They are, yeah, I think, the pioneer in adopting data space technologies globally. And then we have also new hubs, because it is important to adopt this technology locally in the different countries. And here, not only talking about European countries, but global countries. Since the last summit, we were able to open 3 new global hubs, one in the Caribbean, one in Brazil, and we are proud this afternoon, I think at 4, we will sign the agreement with Canada to open the Canadian hub. Yeah, and I'm really happy that we are intensifying the collaboration also with North America here in these activities. One of the several prerequisites which are there to further develop the usage of data and the adoption of data spaces are skills. To have skilled people able to understand the concepts and even more able to implement the concepts. And here the academy we do have since a bit more than a year. We implemented it in April 2014, is an important instrument and has proven to be an important instrument. We have more than 1,000 learners in the meantime, in total 21 different courses, and also for some of the courses test facilities behind it to enable you to get certificates that you have passed this trainings and services. And we have in preparation 5 new streams and 10 new courses. So just make yourself familiar. Also use our game we have started with the app. You may download and get some points, so make yourself familiar with this. Like these guys have done successfully, because these are the first evangelists we do have. We have an evangelist program. Besides having passed several of these trainings, they need to provide some other qualifications. And looking here at the audience, we have a lot of ladies among us. And my wish would really be next year to have not just Catherine Simonin, who is since yesterday, by the way, also a member of our board of directors, representing Orange in our board, but to have more women here amongst our evangelists. This board had a strategy meeting in September in Toulouse, where we agreed on a new structure of the work in the board. We are structured now in 3 different groups: users, providers, and orchestrators. So 3 of the main groups within data ecosystems, with key topics, and the overarching topic and target is to bring more data spaces to reality. And this is the only way to bring value to the end users. So all of our activities are aligned with this overarching target to make them reality. And this is also very well aligned with another organization we do have which is supporting us. This is the Governmental Advisory Board. All European countries which have a hub are entitled to send 1 person to our Governmental Advisory Board. We had a meeting on 14th of November, so last week Friday, with a clear feedback from the Governmental Advisory Board that the topic of digital sovereignty is fully aligned with them and the European Commission. So Thibaut Kleiner, who was here on stage, is representing the European Commission in this group. They fully support the ambition to start the season 2 of Data Spaces. We have in parallel here today the economic theater running on invitation only, a team discussing with data spaces on the sustainable operation of data spaces. What are the different business models to be used, how to make money, how to operate data spaces, and this is fully supported also by the Governmental Advisory Board, and again, adoption and impact. And let me close with an event which was also mentioned earlier today. This was the day before yesterday in Berlin, the European Summit on Digital Sovereignty. President Macron has been there, right to him, the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Then we have the German digital minister and the minister from France for economics. It were a bit more than 1,000 people there, and in the exhibition, which was organized in parallel to this conference, there were only 6 exhibitors, and one of them has been Gaia X. And we had the digital minister there. We had here on the top right is the German Minister for Research. We had members of parliament there intensively discussing our approach. In this case, the core of our exhibition was a new project, also a new lighthouse project called CommunityX, bringing data space concepts to cities and regions, so in the public domain. And let me close with a final slide stating we achieved a lot, but there's still some challenges ahead. Means many of these data spaces still depend on public support for their operation. We have one or two handful which are financially stable and in operation. Building of data spaces is not a one-time effort. It is it requires an evolving coordination. There is a risk of fragmentation and also foreign dependency. This fragmentation was also addressed by Ernst Stöckel-Puckal this morning. And it becomes more and more clear that data spaces and AI closely belong together. You remember the triangle we had, including the infrastructure, and that the role of the orchestrators is critical for the alignment and scale of these digital ecosystems. And all this require the start of the so-called season 2, which we are starting here today. And you recognized in the statements of the people who were on stage, it is not only our mission, it is a common mission to make data spaces sustainable and even more reality than we have it today. Thank you very much.